Hello, everybody, and welcome back to A Book for My Sister podcast, where we are just two sisters hanging out and talking about books. My name's Amelia.
And my name's Cassie.
And we have a lot of book thoughts, so thanks for joining us today, and we hope you follow along our reading journey by subscribing to our podcast and leaving us comments on what you're reading right now, because we want to hear it.
Amelia, what are you drinking throughout this episode to assist you?
Oh, wow. Well, today I'm drinking, wouldn't you know it, the same thing I've been drinking most Saturday mornings, which is my little French toast latte with oat milk. But I think that I did something a little bit wrong when I was, because I don't measure anything. Obviously, I'm not measuring stuff to put in my coffee. I think that I got my eyeball measurements slightly off somehow, because it tastes a little bit wrong. But I don't know. I feel like maybe it needs more milk, but I didn't feel like putting more milk in it.
Damn.
So here we are with my coffee that tastes a little bit wrong, but it still tastes good. You can't really complain about
good.
Like espresso and sugar and milk. So
that is good.
So it's pretty good. How about you? What are you drinking today?
I am drinking many liquids. I have my water. Okay. I have a banana chocolate protein shake.
Okay.
And I am drinking a banana nut muffin latte from the local coffee shop.
How can you have all of those flavors happening?
Well,
what's
the coffee and the protein shake are very similar.
What's the reason for the rotation? Did you not eat breakfast or something?
No,
or
I didn't have time to. I wanted to make my normal Saturday breakfast. I didn't have time though between the farmer's market and this. So I was like, let me just do a protein shake and I'll make it after. So I'm drinking a protein shake.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a lot.
Well, it's very delicious.
Well, I'm so
Thanks
happy
for asking.
What's your favorite out of all three of those? Obviously,
probably the coffee.
The water, probably. Yeah, okay.
It's very yummy.
Well, I'm so glad.
Could be a little nuttier.
The coffee?
Yeah.
Is it just a syrup, like one of those Monin syrups, or is it like
I guess so. I didn't see them do it. I don't know, because I was like, banana nut muffin. So I'm like, okay, cinnamon, banana, but I don't taste banana. And then
yeah, they probably have like a
nut.
They probably have a banana nut syrup. Because Monin makes really specific syrup, so I bet they have a banana nut syrup they put in there.
Yeah, so that's what I am drinking with oat milk, iced, delicious.
Obviously, oat milk reigns supreme over here.
Really jazzed.
Wow, I'm just gonna be bouncing off the wall.
Woo! I was yesterday. I had a matcha yesterday and a coffee when I was doing my homework, and then me and Lainey went to Goodwill, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. What about this? Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to go to Goodwill. I haven't been thrift shopping in so long.
We have a new Goodwill, really sad. And it's like supposed to
be.
Wait,
is it that fancy one?
Yeah,
though?
It's like the bougie Goodwill.
Those are literally, they just take stuff that's not selling like in their old other Goodwills and like make it more expensive in the fancy one.
Yeah, pretty much. But I got some cute stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. I really need to go. I don't have any money to go thrift shopping, but oh, do I want to. I haven't been to a Goodwill in so long. I feel like they've gotten kind of expensive. Like, even just the regular Goodwills are kind of expensive.
Yeah, they have. I think I bought 2 items of clothes. Because I just go really for their home section, because it's so
They
good.
do have a good home section. I love me a Goodwill mug.
I did buy 2 shirts, and I think they were both, there was $6 and an $8 shirt, which is like,
oh my god,
crazy.
$8 shirts at Goodwill?
Yep.
Their shirts used to be like $4.
I know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Anywho.
Anyway.
Today is our second Science Fiction Friday episode. So welcome. For these first few, we're planning a very special Into the Crichton-verse series, since he's most of the science fiction we have both consumed as of late. Would we recommend reading books from the 90s and early 2000s about science in this year of our Lord, 2025? Probably not. But, here we are, because that's all we've read, and we're trying.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. And we are definitely welcoming any sci-fi book suggestions. So let us know what your faves are. We would love to avoid anything Crichton adjacent in terms of writing style and also male POV, because we've had enough of this man, or one of us has. Yeah, you've definitely had enough. I have 2 of his books sitting on my nightstand waiting to read.
You haven't,
so.
what books are they?
Oh, I think it's just one, actually. It's one about, like, genetic, like, altering genes.
What is it called? I've never even heard of that.
I have a very fragile setup, and then
you don't have to get up. You don't have to tell me. I could just look up genetic.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
It's called Next.
Next? I've never even heard of that.
I've been avoiding reading it because I can just already imagine how complicated his gene science
discussions are going to be.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, is a loved one missing some body parts? Are blondes becoming extinct? No.
What?
Is everyone? I've seen too many of them. Is everyone at your dinner table of the same species? Humans and chimpanzees differ in only 400 genes. Is that why a chimp fetus resembles an adult human being?
Wait, is this is that the back of the book?
It's like a message, and I think it's supposed to be like. So I guess this book is about altering your genes, and this is like a fake advertisement for why you should alter your genes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's the actual description of the book. I think it's just a fake advertisement. So yeah, I just haven't.
That's very bizarre.
It's really long, and I just haven't. That's not that long, but I can't. I can't do it. So yeah, I will eventually.
Yeah, there's no rush. It's not a new book. No one's talking about it in a time-sensitive way. So, guys, we did a little overview of Michael Crichton, the man, the myth, the conspiracy theorist, allegedly, in our first Into the Crichton-verse episode. So if you want to hear a little informational tidbit about the guy, go check back and listen to our first Into the Crichton-verse episode about Prey. You don't need to listen to these episodes in any particular order since they're all standalone books, but you might hear us talk about some things that we've talked about previously in regards to how he writes his books. So if you know, you know, then go back and listen to our...
When you know, Lana Del Rey.
Then go back and listen to our episode about Prey if you want to be like Lana Del Rey. Oh, that rhymes. Perfect.
Can I be really honest and vulnerable right now?
Yes, of course.
On the notes sheet, Amelia has written, if you know, that like IYKY, that abbreviation. When that was a thing, and everyone, like years ago, and everyone was using that as like their Instagram captions, like IYKYK, like if you know, if you really know. Mm-hmm. I literally thought that, I didn't know that it stood for anything because I was very behind the times. I literally thought it was yuck. I was like, why is everyone doing like a goofy laugh as their Instagram caption? And I asked my best friend Megan, who is very much with the times, and she said, Cassie, you're an idiot. And then I learned.
Oh my god, that's pretty funny.
Yep. So that's just a little something about me. I was being really brave saying that.
Cassie is not chronically online.
No, I am not.
And honestly,
not even as a 15-year-old.
Honestly, that was not that long ago that people were doing
that. I think I was like, that's more embarrassing. I think I was like 17.
That was like 3 years ago.
It was not
okay, well, people were doing it. Like,
I was definitely in
frequently.
High school.
Okay. Well, I wasn't actually on social media in high school, so I really couldn't.
Yeah, so don't.
So I wasn't actually. Now I'm too online, and I wish I could go back and not be as online as I am. But,
yeah.
The tables have turned. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
It's too late. Now you kind of have to be online to know what's going on. So
yeah. Today we are talking about State of Fear. Be afraid. Be very afraid. This book is honestly pretty controversial, and we definitely have differing opinions on the book itself, So let's dive into a little synopsis before the discussion. Buckle in, folks. Shit really hits the fan. Spoiler alert, this book was published 21 years ago. This book can drink. And we are discussing the entire thing. This book is legally
Go pour some whiskey on the book, on your copy of this book.
So if you're like, damn, I haven't gotten around to reading this book in the last 21 years, and I still want to read it without hearing any spoilers, well, this is not the episode for you. We are going to tell you how this alleged climate disaster hijinks ends. Also, yeah, there's like 1,000 characters in this book, so we're going to do our best to differentiate and explain the relevant ones, but just focus up. There will be a quiz. So, the book
pay
starts...
attention.
Pay attention. The book starts out in Paris, where a researcher is mysteriously killed after sleeping with a super spy seductress, of course, who has been asking... unhelpful but very hot, who has been asking him about his wave projects, like water waves. Then we head over to LA, where we meet our male main character, Peter Evans, who is just a regular schmo. He's a lawyer for a millionaire philanthropist named George, who kind of sucks. But George likes to donate to environmentalist organizations, which we love, particularly one called the National Environmental Resource Fund, which we are now just going to call NERF, and that's how it goes in the book too. So we're just going to call it NERF from now on. George and Peter believe in climate change. Whoa! Yeah, so that's George and Peter. Okay. George finds out that NERF's director, whose name is Nicholas Drake, like obviously he's so evil with that name, has been misusing funds from George's donations. After finding this out, George is visited by two scary dudes, a John Kenner and Sanjong Thapa, who claim to be MIT researchers but are actually Interpol and are trying to track an eco-terrorist group called the Environmental Liberation Front, ELF, Effective Liberating Flight Squad. Oh, Flight Squad? What?
Like
what? What is that?
Like in the Santa Claus movies.
That's what I thought. Is that what it stands for?
No, that's what it stands for in the Santa Claus movie.
It is? It's not ELF Liberating Flight Squad?
No, I looked it
Effective. That doesn't make sense.
I know, I looked it up.
Because I was about to make the exact same joke.
The acronym is ELF.
It is ELF.
But it's ELFS is the acronym in the Santa Claus movies, but
Elves
it does not
with
stand. There's
attitude.
Yeah, he says elves. But they are called the Effective Liberating Flight Squad.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the eco-terrorist group is the Environmental Liberation Front, not Elves with Attitude from the iconic Santa Claus movies. And this is based on an IRL organization called Earth Liberation Front. So similar vibes.
Is that not libel for him to? We can talk. It's a
different word.
But it's
though.
based, I guess. But it's like very similar to the name of the group.
But it's not the name of the group. So technically, he could argue in what's it when you have no idea about something? Ignorance. He could argue ignorance. He'd be like, oh, I've never heard of you guys. Sorry. Doesn't matter because he's dead. Okay. These Interpol agents, Kenner and Tapa, tell George that the ELF are trying to create what appear to be natural disasters, but are actually their creations, using science to convince people that global warming is happening. So this is like literally all in the first 10 pages. So we have this environmental organization trying to bring awareness to climate change by creating fake natural disasters. So, like ecoterrorism. So not only are they creating fake climate disasters, but they also just don't care about how this impacts people. So, like, if anyone dies, oh, well, it's for the cause. And they are also killing anyone who seems to threaten their mission. They like to kill people with the venom of a blue-ringed octopus, which causes paralysis in seconds. And also they put their victims in a situation where they're just struck by lightning. So, like, these guys are very intense, and they're very motivated for the cause. So yeah, these
Super
two Interpol,
motivated.
they're so motivated. These two Interpol guys are here because they think George is involved in this organization because of his donations. This results in George dying after a Nerf conference in a car crash. He was drunk driving. So his fault.
He was driving like a bajillion miles an hour. And
in
he like
his
crashed
little
into, like,
sports
a rock
car
or
in a
something.
tree.
Yeah.
I was like a tree, like wrapped around a tree, and like fell off a cliff or something.
He didn't fall off a cliff. There was like, I thought there was a rock, but I thought they
fell off a cliff. Okay.
He hits something with his car when he's going very fast.
And he may or may not fall off a cliff.
So Peter, if you remember him, the lawyer, and George's assistant, whose name is Sarah, and she's obviously all legs and is always playing tennis and looking hot and perfect.
All day.
Legs for days. She's super hot and helpful.
So hot and helpful.
So hot and helpful. She's actually the most helpful in this book.
No, she's actually kind of great. I love her.
She's like low-key a superhero, which is great.
She's incredible. Just from playing tennis. What do they put in those sports drinks that those tennis players drink?
So the two of them join the Interpol guys as they travel around the world to prevent Elf's mischievous plans for fake disasters. They have a number of near-death experiences, one especially harrowing one involving Peter and Sarah being pushed into an ice cave, like a hole in the ground.
Crevasse.
We'll get into it a little bit more, but they're in the Arctic Circle, and there's like a hole in the ground with like shelves, like ice shelves, and they like get pushed into this hole. And Sarah, who's able to do any physical feat possible, is able to get them both out, and they almost freeze to death, and then they're found by the Interpol guys. So essentially, Elf has planned the following quote-unquote environmental disasters to prove that climate change is real, because Elf wants to convince people that it's real. I think that to like make people like snap into action against climate change quicker, so they're trying to make it seem like climate change is happening, like all these terrible things are happening right now because of it, in order to motivate people to do more things and motivate governments to like do more things to stop it. So the first one that our characters encounter, the first environmental disaster that they try and prevent, involves ELF is trying to break off a piece of the Arctic ice shelf with explosives, which would form a huge iceberg and make the Earth's temperatures all wonky, because the temperature of the ocean depends on like how many icebergs are breaking off into it or whatever. I'm not a scientist. I don't know, but that would really mess up like the temperature of the Earth. And so that's where Sarah and Peter nearly die in a hole in the ice. The second one is ELF is creating artificial lightning in Arizona in a forest while attempting to kill an Interpol guy and Sarah with the lightning. Like they're targeting the lightning at the two of them.
Don't they like plant something on them that attracts the
lightning?
Oh, yes.
Like
they plant it in their vehicle.
They've got like
or something.
There's like a magnet or something that's like attracting the lightning to them. Is it? What?
I think it's sick. I love that part. I was like, oh my God.
It was really stressful. That was a stressful. It was very stressful part to read. And Sarah actually is struck by lightning, and she has to be resuscitated by Peter after being struck because she's like dead. And during this time, Peter is on a side quest to find out more information about Nicholas Drake. Remember him from the beginning? He's a suspicious man
evil
with
guy.
The evil last name. With this artificial lightning, Elf has created a huge storm somehow that creates flash flooding, which was also triggered by them, in a state park during like a holiday. It's like Memorial Day or something. So there's like families, a bunch of families there. And Elf is like, perfect, we can kill all these families and people be really upset about climate change. So they like trigger this flash flood in a state park, which the characters try to stop, but they fail. So this huge park gets flooded out with all these people, drowning in the elf storm. So after this, Peter kind of starts to realize what's happening. He comes close to finding out some information that Elf doesn't want him to know, and they attempt to kill him with the blue-ringed octopus. And then this woman who he's been like on and off sleeping with, like comes in his apartment and sees him like paralyzed on the ground, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And then she like calls 911, and he's fine.
Hot and helpful.
So after this, Peter goes to the Nerf conference, which we kind of get snippets of what's happening at the conference. But this is sort of the part of the book where this book definitely has more pages than Prey, of like pages upon pages of like science, fake science. Like, so
I
like
think
Peter's
I honestly would
talking,
I
just would skip over those pages.
I would read it like a little bit, but yeah. I was not
when I realized that it was going to be when I would realize that it was going to be droning on for more than a page, I would be like, okay, and we're skipping that. Because he's talking to like this crazy professor guy or something, and the professor's like going on and on and on. It's like, oh my god. Also, Peter's a lawyer. Like, he doesn't even, how does he even understand what's happening when this guy's talking to him?
Yeah, no, he's also very smart. He's like, oh yeah, and then blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I read this study.
He's smart, but he's also kind of stupid. And it's like, what are you doing? So then while he's at this Nerf conference, Sarah is watching the news, and she sees that the news is like, oh my god, climate change is horrible. And like saying all this stuff, and like, she's like, oh, they're manipulating climate science to like manipulate people. And realizes that ELF and NERF are connected somehow, the organizations. And so there's one like big final climate disaster that ELF is trying to orchestrate, which is essentially creating a gigantic tsunami, which would like pulverize California or whatever. So they have to fly to this like tiny little barely populated island to try and interrupt, which is where they're going to create the tsunami so that it'll like be pushed across, whatever, the Pacific Ocean and go to California. So they've got to go to this little island and stop the tsunami from being created. So during this, they come across cannibalistic islanders, which is interesting. And a reporter had come with them on this trip because he's like, I want to find out what's happening too.
Annoying.
He's so fucking annoying. His name's Ted, and he's annoying. Ted, and I haven't mentioned him because he's one of the million characters in this book, and he's not in the book.
It's only relevant in the end, really.
It's only relevant when he is eaten.
Yeah,
by other people. So he gets eaten, but literally nobody cares. And so then, after they're kind of kidnapped by these cannibals, George Morton, the rich guy, shows back up, and we find out that he faked his death.
And he's actually a lot smarter than...
He's actually really smart and not stupid.
Yeah, like he's portrayed, and he's not an alcoholic.
He's not an alcoholic. Well, I think he might be, but he just didn't die from drunk driving.
Yes.
So they're actually not able to stop the tsunami in time. They're like driving all over the island and like fighting off people that live there and like driving through, whatever forests and all this stuff and shooting people. And they're not able to stop the tsunami. But Elf did such a bad job trying to create it in the first place that it ends up being too small to actually harm anyone. So then at the end of the book, it ends very abruptly. Mm-hmm. All this stuff happens, and then like they get off the island, and it like ends while they're like in the plane to get off the island. So the rest of the characters escape, aside from Ted, who was eaten. And George wants Peter to help him with running a new environmentalist organization that he wants to create with an emphasis on non-political science and appropriate responses to that non-political science. And Peter's like, okay, let's do it. Let's tell people what's really happening, which is that climate change isn't a big deal. And that's how the book ends. The end. Once again, we said this in the Prey episode. We're going to say it here as well. Michael Crichton creates a lot of fake science in his books to support the plots that he's writing and get science to do what he wants it to do so that the characters have stuff to do and that his plots make sense. And we don't have any issue with this because this is science fiction. And that's the point. Jurassic Park, that's not real. We can't create dinosaurs. No. Damn it. We cannot create dinosaurs with blood from amber-encased mosquitoes.
I love that. Because it's like, what if... Like, obviously we can talk about that when we talk about Jurassic Park. But I just love the idea of them finding a mosquito in amber and like, oh my god, we gotta take this blood.
What if we extracted and then it's just like the blood out of it?
And it's just like an Australopithecus. Oh my god, I can't say it. Or it's like
Australopithecus.
I can't. Yeah, or like a Homo habilis.
I don't know.
And it's
what
like
is that?
Or just it's an early human.
Okay.
An early human. They were the first ones to use tools. And then so it's just like Craig, and they're like Craig.
It's like, whoa.
And like, we thought you were gonna be a dinosaur, and he's like, but I just love how it was like every dinosaur they needed they found. But anyways, that's not related.
You know what? That's really a good point. But that's
like,
what we're saying.
If it was just a cave dweller? Come on.
That's what we're saying.
Which still would have been cool. But
who wants to go?
But no one wants to go to a theme park with a bunch of Neanderthals.
No.
I do.
That's also would be like really unethical because they would be people. You know? There would be a lot of
like, guys, look at all these tools. And they're like, what? Yeah.
Huh?
Crazy.
But yes, so, obviously none of that is real. And he, made that up. He uses sort of like a real science thing. Like he used chaos theory in Jurassic Park, which is real because my roommate used to be really fascinated with Jurassic Park, or not Jurassic Park, what the hell, with chaos theory. And she would be talking about all this. Riley was like,
that's so funny.
She would always be like, chaos theory is so cool. And I was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. And she would have all these like math
if you
proofs.
Put a drop of water on your hand, you go any
direction. Know which way it's gonna go.
That's chaos.
Pretty chaotic, that water. So it is, chaos theory is real. And it's math, and it's very confusing to me personally. But you know what? That doesn't mean that if we use chaos theory, we could create dinosaurs from mosquitoes and amber. So it's fiction, and he treated it like fiction. And that, I think, is part of the thing, is he treated it like it was fiction. But in this book, I was reading it, and I was like, now, hold on a minute. Why would he be writing a book about climate science, like a climate organization? Now, this was a real organization. Earth Liberation Front was a real organization who used, it says guerrilla warfare on Wikipedia, which,
what
does that mean that you use guerrilla warfare to tell people about climate change? They destroyed tools that would injure animals, people, or the environment. Okay.
It's not like PETA, but for the environment.
That sounds fine.
I'm like, you just go.
If it's property damage, that sounds fine.
That's not guerrilla warfare.
Destruction of property is not, that's fine. Elf, in this book, in State of Fear, is like killing people.
Yeah,
and
so they're
not
pretty
only are
bad.
they killing people with their fake climate disasters, but they're also just like literally coming to Peter's house and like biting him with an octopus to like kill him.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like, huh? And I was reading it and I was like, now why would he be writing a book about this if he really, really strongly believed in climate change and believed it was real and that, we needed to take action to prevent it from continuing?
Turns out he doesn't.
He did not.
He did not
closed out this book.
He was a denier.
You know what? He wasn't quite. So, all right. So what we're going to do here is talk to you guys about this personal essay. He has 2 author's notes at the end of this book. And one of them is a personal essay titled Why Politicized Science is Dangerous, which you cannot find online because I tried to. Because at first, when I first read this book, I was like, I'm not reading author's notes.
I didn't read
because I don't read author's notes. But I was like reading about the book a little bit more. And I was like, oh, there's a weird essay in the back. So I checked it back out from the library. Check books out from your local library. And I did read it. And oh boy.
Oh boy.
This letter is crazy. So.
Because the title, it sounds like a really fascinating essay and not what it's actually about. It sounds like it would be like, why politicized science is dangerous. Yeah.
Or like why do we have to politicize science?
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Why it's science, like why do we have to politicize climate change? Like some science should be politicized. But like climate change is like that's happening. That's real. Yeah. So why do we have to make it this way? Why can't we just do stuff, to help it? But not make it so villainized, politically villainized. You obviously, governments have to pass things in order to prevent more things from happening. That way, but like villainized politically. Mm-hmm. So he opens this letter, and he's like, there used to be a popular new science movement in the early 1900s, and like all these people were on board, and everyone thought it was really cool and good for society. And a lot of famous people were on board, and he cites those people, and he says that okay, this is a quote. He says, quote unquote, it was said that if Jesus was alive, he would have supported this effort, unquote. So what is this movement, you might be wondering? Well, it was eugenics. It was a eugenics movement. And how is any suddenly popular science movement any different from eugenics? And how does that make climate change different?
It's his argument. This is not Amelia's
this is his argument. I do not believe this. This is his argument, is that the climate change movement and climate science becoming suddenly very popular, which I don't know what he defines as sudden. It started in the 80s. People started talking about it in the 80s. Yeah. This book was written in 2002. So I don't know what his definition of sudden was.
Yeah,
but
it's not sudden.
He's like, suddenly, we're very worried about climate change. And like, you know, people were into eugenics pretty quickly. But I feel like if you know anything about science and eugenics, is that eugenics wasn't based in science.
Yeah, it was based in racism.
Eugenics was based in racism
and
classism and ableism. It was not based in science. But he's like, you know what? Who's to say that climate change is scientifically accurate? Because eugenics ended up not being. And he says that we believe scientists and public figures who say that it's real, but they could probably be biased. And why is science even going into politics in the first place? And then he draws another comparison to something that I'd never heard of. This guy in Russia in 1928 named Lysenko, who Crichton calls a self-promoting peasant. So I was like, okay. He doesn't sound like a good guy, so like whatever. But he was a farmer. So Lysenko was this farmer in Russia in 1928. And he claims to have invented some crop procedure involving like moistening and chilling planted seeds so that they would grow later, according to Crichton. I didn't look this up. And nobody really ever tested his methods. They just kind of believed that it worked. And so then when Stalin came to power, he appointed Lysenko to help with like industrial crop growing in the Soviet Union. And so farmers started to use this method, which was called vernalization. And it didn't work, and crops did not grow, and there was a famine as a result. And Lysenko was this like super famous media darling in the USSR. And Crichton is like, how is that any different from climate change?
So he's arguing that a bunch of scientists were just taking their word as gospel and we're not testing it, and then if we actually implement what they're saying, we're all going to die?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Just
to and it's just, you know, like eugenics was based in its entirety was based in racism, ableism, and classism, which is why it was popular, because, you know, like the 14th Amendment was passed and people were like, this is horrible, and all these racists were like, we don't want to let people that we don't like into our society. And
oh my god, wait, I'm having deja vu.
Oh my god, what? Could
wait,
this be happening
what? Oh my god. Have you taken your daily Tylenol supplement?
Oh my god. You know how much I'm going to take 8 Tylenol every day. So
I don't need it. Like, I want it.
For the betterment of society, I'm taking 8 Tylenol a day. So this is literally based in the belief that eugenicists were morally, genetically, emotionally, and intelligently better than people of color, disabled people, and poor people. It was not based in any form of science. And they took this belief that they were better than everybody else, and they pretended that it was science. And this Lysenko story, like, what the hell is he even talking about? It's like he did a Google search for, like, fake science, and this came up in some obscure article, and he was like, I'm going to use that. And it just sounds
like Stalin is just, not a great guy.
Like, so Stalin was a dictator.
Yeah, you realize that...
What like, dictator in America is, like, talking about how urgent climate change is? What kind of comparison are you trying to draw? And you know what?
It's not a good comparison.
America created the eugenics movement, and the Nazis were like, wow, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And they did the Holocaust. And that started in America. It didn't start in Germany. It started in America.
Started in America. If you want to learn more about that, look up the history of gynecology.
It's so true. So, so we've got, racists in the early 1900s. We've got Stalin, Hitler. And then he's like, global warming?
A little different.
But what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, but the similarities are not superficial. What do you mean? There are no similarities.
No, on page 579 of the copy that I'm reading, he says, quote, I am not arguing that global warming is the same as eugenics, but the similarities are not superficial, unquote. But what?
The only similarities are that they're movements that became popular. That is the
only we're going to compare every single popular movement and say that they're alike? That's fucking insane. That's delusional.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So he has this whole wackadoo essay, and he's like, I don't think governments should be making policies on how to do climate change stuff. We should just do it. And it's like, okay, so if we're going to ban fossil fuels, then who's going to do that?
Yeah.
Are the oil companies just going to be like, you know what, you're right, we're going to stop, and we're going to find renewable energy? That's like what he's saying in the essay. He talks about power and like gas. And he's like, I don't think that politicians should be deciding whether we're using these things. And it's like, so how will change come about? You think that the rich oligarchs who are in charge of oil are just going to be like, you know what, we should stop for the environment?
Guys.
Like, what are you talking about?
Let's stop.
And then,
you know, we have like all this money. I don't want it anymore.
I don't want it anymore. I think we should donate it.
That's why we need policy.
The Earth Liberation.
Absolutely not. Just naivete.
So he wrote this book in 2002. It was published in 2002. And then in 2005, Michael Crichton was called as a witness in front of the Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works to assist the Oklahoma Republican Senator James Inhofe. I don't know how you say that. Inhofe?
Inhofe. Inhofe.
Who
cares?
Who believed that climate change was, quote, the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on the American people, unquote. And Crichton went in front of the Senate Committee on Environment and Public Works and stated that lawmakers should be cautious when making decisions related to climate change, and said they needed to examine whether the methodology of climate change is sufficiently rigorous to yield a reliable result. So the thing is that, like, if this was just a book, and some wackadoo guy wrote this ridiculous article in the back of his book talking about how climate change is probably fake, that would be one thing. But then he goes in front of the Senate and was like, I think that y'all shouldn't do anything, because we don't know what this is. This science that at this point is like 33 years old, we don't know what this is. It's like, what? Not 33, 25. I don't know when. It's the 80s when people started talking about climate change, okay?
Yeah.
Or scientists started talking about climate change. I'm not, Reagan wasn't talking about climate change, but...
No.
But yeah, so then he just went in front of everybody and was like, this is fake. And so I think that just brings this problem. It just makes this book, it's not just like a book, 2005, people had weird opinions in 2005. And if he wrote this and we were reading it now and it said that, we'd be like, wow, this guy sucked and that's wrong, but okay. But instead he went around telling people that it was fake. And that creates some problems. It's not just a little harmless book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was reading the book, I did not pick up on the fact that he did not believe in climate change. Because there are multiple pages where the main lawyer character is having discussions with a scientist, and she is trying to convince him that it's not that it's not real, but it's not as big of a problem as people are making it. Yeah.
And he believes in climate.
And
Peter
the
at the beginning of the book
believes very deeply in it.
Yeah. And so at the beginning, Peter is like, climate change is real and it's moving fast and we need to do something. And then all the people around him are like, well, think about it this way. It's not, though.
Which also, I think it's really interesting that they're like, well, yeah, it's happening, but it's not that fast and it's not that dire. It's like, well, also the Ice Age took millions of years, but it still happened, I'm like, it doesn't make it not real just because it takes a long time. So,
but and if something bad is happening, if it's slow, who cares? Shouldn't we still do something?
Yeah, it's because, as we have seen, I don't think we had 3 ice ages in Earth's history, maybe 4, or interglacial periods. And it's like, yeah, it wasn't great. A lot of people died. early anatomical humans.
Mammoths.
Mammoths.
Saber-toothed tigers.
All the mammoths died. All the saber-toothed tigers. All the sloths.
Think about Diego. How sad we were when Diego...
Did he die? He didn't die in the
no,
movie.
But if he was alive in history, he would be dead.
If he was alive in real life history, he would have died.
And Manny?
So it's like, yeah, it's like those took millions of years, but they were still massive global disasters during the time period. So I'm like, we could still do something to prevent it. Which, yeah, so it's like, yeah, sure, it's taking a long time, and yeah, maybe it's not happening as quickly as, The Day After Tomorrow, but
oh god,
great movie. But it's like
highly recommend Day After
Tomorrow. But yeah, it's like it's still a problem. We still need to do something about it. Don't piss me off.
I wonder if Michael Crichton, because Day After Tomorrow came out before. Wait, did Day After Tomorrow come out in 2001? Let me look.
I have no idea.
After 2004. Damn, came out after. Okay, I was gonna say maybe Michael Crichton watched it and got mad that people were talking about
climate change.
Because
this cannot be happening.
Day After Tomorrow was the first big blockbuster anything to talk about climate change in a serious way. And Day After Tomorrow, what a groundbreaking movie.
Truly groundbreaking.
Opened a lot of doors for us to talk about climate change.
Yeah.
Thanks Jake Gyllenhaal, I guess.
Thanks Jake Gyllenhaal.
I actually used to think that Michael Crichton helped write Day After Tomorrow.
Because it does seem like his vibe, but yeah.
It's sort of Twister-esque. So, except that Twister is just tornadoes and that amount
they're
of
not
tornadoes is
because
happening
of
in
climate change, yeah.
No, yeah, and there are just a lot of tornadoes in Kansas. So, I mean, that wasn't anything. But Day After Tomorrow seemed like he could have written it because it's disastery and he writes some, disasters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just okay, what are we supposed to do with what you're what are we supposed to do with this? It's fiction. Yeah. But you have real opinions that you're kind of enumerating in this book. And that's weird.
With all that being said, I do think if you don't read his paper and you don't know that he's actually advocating for these ideas that we personally do not believe, I just think it's a really good book, and I think ecoterrorism is so interesting.
Yeah.
It's not something I've ever read about or ever seen a movie about.
I thought you were about to say it's not something I've ever done, and I was like, yeah,
personally,
okay.
I've never committed an act of ecoterrorism, but after reading this, I just think I thought it was so interesting. And a really, fun, action-packed, and a little ridiculous, which, all of this, sci-fi books are kind of a little goofy sometimes. But it's just really fun, and it's really, I read this really quickly because it was so good, and without the statements that he's, putting those aside, it's a great book about climate change, and I think it's great.
Yeah. I did, as a book, surface level, I liked it because I like how Michael Crichton writes thrillers, and I think that he really makes you be on the edge of your seat, and he does write these scenes where you're oh my god, what's going to happen to these people, are they going to die, what's happening, and so he does kind of make you feel like that, and I that's how I want to feel when I'm reading sci-fi thriller I'm a disaster movie person. I love disaster movies. I love disaster books. I love consuming fictional media about natural disasters. And so on that level, Michael Crichton gets me. He sees that I like that, and he's like, well, here you go. But then he just inserts all this weird shit into his books, and I'm like, what is going on? Why are you doing that? These can't, I almost put the book down a couple of times because it was hard for me to read because I literally started it and was like, what is going on? Is he advocating? And then I was like, maybe the people who don't believe in climate change are going to get their comeuppance at the end of the book, but they don't. So, it's not like they get punished for not believing in climate change. So it was kind of I was like, oh my god, this is a lot. And then at the end, he's got the Cannibal Islanders.
Which is very random. And it's yes, there are people that do practice cannibalism, but the odds of them landing on the one island, of the few people that actually do practice it, I'm those odds are very, but It's like that also did create a level of suspense because you're like, except when the reporter got eaten, that was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, and that was kind of, I was like, oh, that's random.
It's just bizarre. It's random. It's bizarre. It's like, okay, couldn't they're on a remote island where there's like, they're all kind of scattered around the island. They don't know where they are. They're like depending on people for transportation who like they're bargaining with and like paying like weird amounts of money to like travel places around the island. You know, I just like, I feel like he could have just created suspense in a different way other than being like, and then
they're also gonna eat you.
These people on this remote island would like to kill and eat you.
Yeah, it was
in
very
a malicious
random
way. Not even in a way where they're like, we're sorry, but we gotta eat you because like we don't have food or something. They make literally kidnap them. They like light them over a fire, and they like, you know, I'm just like
freaking in the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie when they put,
that is like that
when they put Johnny Depp on a spit.
Yes, it is like that.
It's just like that.
Johnny Depp should be put on a spit.
Damn.
Anyway, allegedly, he should be put on a spit. But yeah, I just was like, what are we doing? Like, is this like what even for why? But so that was strange. That was weird.
Yeah.
And then of course we have to talk about our women.
We have to talk about it.
We got to talk about it. Sarah, she's hot and helpful. 100%.
Amazing and iconic.
Like, she does like rock climbing and plays tennis, and she's able to do basically anything because she can do those things. And Peter is he's like lusting after her the whole book, and then she tries to like be like, oh, like what are we, like what do you want to do? And he's like, I can't, I wanted to sleep with other women. And it's like, what's going on? Like, and she's like wanting to be with him, and he is like interested in her but like so non-committal, and he's just like, but you're so hot and helpful, like
hot. Like when you saved me from that crevice
with your legs that go up to your neck
like with your long tan legs, I was just like, dude,
it's just
he's so,
and this like Michael Crichton is like horny for his own female characters that he's writing.
Yeah, he's writing.
The way he writes
them.
And then we've got Jennifer, who I didn't mention because she's one of the million characters. Jennifer is actually kind of important, but I felt like we could write a more condensed summary than Prey, where we literally like had to feel like we had to explain so much more because that book is so much more complex. The Jennifer is just, she's one of the scientist ladies who is
the one that's always having
climate change.
Yeah, the one that I mentioned is always having the discussions with the lawyer.
Yes, she's always like debating Peter, and Peter's also lusting after her. He's always like, oh my god, she's so hot, even though she's so fucking annoying.
When she yells at me, bro, oh my god.
Like they are constantly bickering about like science,
and he's like, wait, are we gonna kiss? And she's like, no. She's like, no, I'm trying to tell you something. He's like, okay.
And then Sarah hates Jennifer because she feels like Jennifer is flirting with him, and it's like, for the love of God,
just be friends and realize that Peter's not the prize.
Peter sucks. He's
just a blood-sucking lawyer.
Yeah, he really is. And so they're the only two like female main characters that we get. And then we also have the first woman. So there's 3 women in this book, and the other one is the one at the beginning who kills a scientist, and she's on the page for like 2 pages. She's in the book for like 2 pages, and she like seduces the scientist who's doing the wave work or whatever in France. And she just, I don't believe she comes back, but she like, works for Elf to seduce science men and kill them after she figures out how their science projects work. So like she's hot and helpful for Elf.
Yeah, she's a hot and helpful eco-terrorist.
Yeah. And we love this for her.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, but in the way that Michael Crichton writes books, I think he's definitely was one of those guys who thought that women were like smart in the way that they knew how to use their seductive powers to like manipulate men to get what they want. And that's how like most of his, like, not all of his female characters. I don't want him to write women this way. This is how he writes not all of his female main characters, but a lot of them. Like, Sarah isn't really written this way. Obviously, Elf Seductress is written this way. Jennifer's, like, low-key written this way. So it's just... And in Prey, what's-his-name's wife was written that way. You know? It's like, Michael, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not even... If I'm not looking at a man, I'm not even thinking about men. Unless a man is right in front of me, I'm not even thinking about them. So it's like, why? So
you're not using your seductress powers of
to manipulate men that I'm like not around
on a daily basis?
No.
What? I've been doing this all wrong.
I'm just like, oh, you're here? So I forgot. Honestly, I forgot.
Oh, you're here? Let me manipulate you.
Now that I see you, I'll manipulate. I'm just kidding. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, bro, like, relax. Like, oh my God, Jennifer's like not even thinking about you unless you're in front of her. But anyway. I do think it's kind of funny that a lot of the men in his books like physically cannot do shit. They like know a lot of things, but they cannot until they absolutely need to. Like Jack and his little Tom Cruise
like
moment.
Jack.
But Peter, Peter like never has one of those moments. Tom Cruise. Peter is just he's just the whole time he's like, around. What do I do? It's like, oh my God. How can you be so... You're a lawyer. Don't you need to have, like, critical thinking and figure out what you need to do? Like, I just, like... It's not like I'm not running 5Ks, but, like, if I was in an emergency situation, I feel like I'd be like, okay, yeah, we do have to, like, do something.
Okay, I can run this 5K.
Yeah, yes. If you're making me run the 5... If it's a long walk and I have to do it, like, fine. I guess I'll do it. I'm not going to see that movie, but I think that's what it's about. Have you heard about... No.
Incorrect.
No. Is it not? Wait, do you know what The Long Walk is about?
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched The Long Walk? The new one?
I saw it in theaters. Yes.
The
new one. The only one.
When did you see this movie in theaters?
I saw it
a few weeks ago. Me. What?
I saw it a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Was it good? It wasn't scary? I thought it was a horror movie.
No, it's a thriller.
Oh, I thought
it was more graphic than scary.
I was going to say, is it really violent? I've heard that it's really violent.
It's pretty violent, yeah.
I really want to watch, there's a scary movie that I want to watch. I want to watch Together. That one where Dave Franco and his wife are getting stuck together.
Yeah.
I want to watch Heretic. What else do I want to watch?
Oh,
I want to rewatch Nosferatu with Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant!
Hugh Grant!
Hugh Grant. So Amelia, on a scale of 1 to 10 eco-terrorists, how many eco-terrorists would you rate this book?
I would give this book 5 eco-terrorists, I think.
Really?
Maybe 6. No, 5.
What did I give Prey? Did I give Prey 7?
I literally do not remember.
I don't remember either. I think I either gave it a 6.5 or a 7. I would rank State of Fear as a 7.5. 7.5 eco-terrorists. 7.5 elves with attitude. That's what I would rank it. Man. I mean, like, his writing is always kind of silly to me, too. Like, the way he writes is kind of silly. But I feel like State of Fear is written less silly than Prey. And I do like that more. So maybe I'll give it 5.5 elves with attitude instead of 5. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I said 5 before. I'll give it 5.5.
Okay,
5.5 to 6.
Okay. 5.75.
5.5 to 6. Hot and helpful elves attitude.
Hot and helpful elves attitude. 7.5 and a 5.5. Great.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to another episode of A Book for My Sister. You can follow us on Instagram at A Book for My Sister Podcast. We just post little pictures of our books and announce new episodes, so you should follow us there. So we will be back next week for our final episode of 2025. Whoop, whoop. Woohoo! We're just going to be having a little conversation, a little yap sesh about our favorite books of the year and any sort of, literary hopes we have for 2026. So
I cannot wait to talk about the book that I am about to finish.
Well, I'm so excited to hear about it. So come back and listen to Cassie talk about this book that she's excited to talk about. Yeah. Or else.
I'm going to cry.
Cassie's going to cry. She's going to cry on the pod.
On the pod.
So that's going to be on December 19th, our last episode of 2025, and then we'll be back in January. So keep on yapping and reading until then, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks so much. See ya. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
They're like, meet Peter. He is a regular lawyer.
And then in the clip's just him like running down the street, and he spills his because everyone. He's like, ah.
He's like, ah. And George is like sitting in his big chair, and he turns around, and he's like, George likes to donate to environmentalist organizations.
Yeah.
They believe in climate change together.